Hey everybody, it's Andrew Martin coming to you with part 2 of Is It Sustainable? You didn't think I was just going to leave you hanging, did you? I wouldn't do that to you. However, I think that it was important that a couple of days went by before I gave you the second part of this video, because I really wanted you to begin the process of looking inside of yourself and asking these tough questions. And I'm here to tell you that this process of transformation, this process of self-transformation is not easy. It's not easy. You're going to be required to go out of your comfort zone. You're going to be required to look at some things about yourself that maybe you don't want to look at. You're going to be required to ask some tough questions and make some decisions that feel difficult in the moment. You're going to be required to move in the direction of your discomfort and say yes to things that perhaps feel overwhelming. But I want you to know that it's possible. I want you to know that you're capable and that you can do it, and I am living proof that that is true. So here's the deal. You're walking down the path of self-transformation. You have followed the steps in the first video that I recorded for you. You've asked yourself those tough questions. You've really begun to tune into the feelings that you carry around these areas of your life that you're not happy with, and you've begun to see that they are not sustainable, and that is the first step. Your willingness throughout this journey is the most important thing. You don't have to know what, you don't have to know why, you don't have to know where or when. All you have to do is show up and be willing. But there are some practical steps that you can begin to take now to help move you in the direction of the truth and the integrity and the satisfaction that you're looking for. The first one is you've got to start the process of self-inquiry. And you already started that by asking yourself those questions about, is my life sustainable? And are these feelings that I carry with myself sustainable? Because here's the deal. The fundamental experience of a human life is that we create through our emotions. Every creation, every choice, every decision that we make is energetic and it is emotional. There is an emotional underpinning to every single decision that you make in your life. Some of them are conscious, some of them are unconscious. Some of them are healthy, some of them aren't. Some are really misguided, and some are really true and point us right in the direction of what we want and what we need. And whether or not they're healthy or unhealthy is a different conversation altogether. But the truth is that there is an emotional reason that you have chosen everything that you have chosen up until this point. And that is not going to change. The trick is to get really clear on what is the emotional intention behind it. What is the energy that I have present within me when I am creating? Am I creating from fear? Am I creating from love and joy? Am I creating from, anger and frustration? And again, this isn't a right and wrong thing. This is not a way for you to, judge yourself even more and to say that you're bad at something or that you can't do it. This is about you just getting really clear and honest with yourself, and beginning the process of self-inquiry means that you're going to have to start to ask these questions. What is meaningful? What is valuable? What is important to me? And I want you to ask these questions. I want you to write them down. I want you to take a couple of days, and I want you to get really clear with yourself what's meaningful, valuable, and important. You can do it on your laptop, you can do it in a journal, but you've got to write it down. And I know that on these lists there will be some things like a house and a job and a partner and a healthy body, and those things are meaningful and valuable and important. But what I want you to do is, when you're stuck with a physical thing or an object, I want you to dig a little deeper and find what is the emotional or the energetic connection to this. What does a house represent? Does it represent ease? Does it represent accomplishment? Does it represent satisfaction? Does it represent safety? Does it represent stability? So yes, you may have some physical things on your list, but I want you to dig deeper. Look for the emotion and the energy. Step 2, you've got to start to cultivate awareness. You've got to start to cultivate the awareness of this moment right now. Your guidance, your insight, your intuition, your answers and signs that you are seeking are only ever in this now moment. Spirit does not work in past, present, and future. The reality is that linear time is a construct that only exists here on Earth, and it really is an illusion. But I don't want to get too deep into that. That's not important. What is important is bringing yourself to this now moment. And when you're feeling powerless, over the next couple of days, what I want you to do is, when you're having a moment of feeling powerless or overwhelmed or unsure or scared, I want you to remember to bring yourself to the moment and ask yourself this question. If you're feeling powerless, ask yourself the question, where is my power now? If you're feeling lost, I want you to ask yourself the question, where is my clarity now? If you're feeling like you don't have any options, I want you to ask yourself, where is my choice now? What this does is this brings you right back to the present moment. This brings you right back to the here and now. because that's where the answers always are. They're always in the moment. And there's another thing that I want you to begin to consider. There are 5 levels of awareness. There's physical, there's emotional, there's mental, there's energetic, and there's spiritual. And when you're finding yourself in a moment of you're not really sure what to do or where to go, or you feel frustrated because there's some part of you that you just can't access and you don't know why you can't move forward, ask yourself, do an inventory, take a little diagnostic scan and say, is this mental or physical or emotional or spiritual or energetic? What's going on here? You have to begin to learn how to sit with yourself. Your emotional self, your physical self, your mental self, your spiritual self, your energetic self, and beginning to tune into these different levels of the self, you're learning how to speak a new language. This is not going to happen overnight. This is not instant gratification, but you've got to start to bring your awareness to this moment now. It's not in the past, it's not in the future, it is only here right now. The third thing you've got to start doing is accessing stillness. This is why meditation is so important and why finding a way to get quiet and tune into yourself is crucial to a healthy, balanced, and thriving life. The answers that you're seeking and the voice that you're looking to listen to is very quiet and still in the beginning. You are really learning how to learn how to speak a new language. You're learning how to speak the language of self, and the self exists on many different levels, and quite a few of them are very subtle. So intuition and knowing and inspiration and comprehension and guidance aren't always loud and bold and really, really clear. Oftentimes they are very quiet and very subtle. And your job is to begin through cultivating stillness and cultivating awareness and accessing stillness. You begin to clear away the dirt and the dust and the debris so that you can find that small, still voice inside of you. You got to get quiet. You got to turn off the TV. You got to turn off your computer. You got to put down your phone. Pokemon Go does not count as a walk. Get out into nature. If you can't meditate, get outside and walk into nature. Sit in a park. Sit by the lake. Sit by the ocean. Write in a journal. Just sit and breathe. You've got to find a way to get quiet. You've got to find a way to hear what's going on internally. This is the way that you're going to begin to tune in. What's really important to me? So you can see that all 3 of these things, self-inquiry, cultivating awareness, and accessing stillness, they all serve each other. They are really the trinity of self-transformation. All of these levels of awareness that exist inside of you, all they really need for you to do is to hear them and to know them. And that's the first step to getting clear, is by doing your inner work, and that's where it begins. There's a couple of books that I'm also going to give you because it's important that you begin to change your perspective on your life. Let's be honest. If you were watching this video, then there wouldn't be anything that you needed to change. If you're watching this video, it's because something in your life isn't going right, and it hasn't worked up until this point, so why do you think it would continue to work? It's time to start doing things differently. And one of the quickest ways that you can do that is to begin to change your perspective and your beliefs. Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukov, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and E Squared by Pam Grout. These are 3 very, very easy to read books, 3 very powerful books that give you practical ways to begin to approach your life from a new perspective, and that is the beginning to self-transformation. I will be having a part 3. Keep your eyes open for it. But until then, you've got some work to do. Do your homework. Start getting really, really clear with yourself. And that's the beginning of change. Self-inquiry is the beginning of change. Thanks for watching. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.